Hi, I'm Kat Ellis. I'm the author of Blackfin Sky. I'm going to be answering some questions on Jessabella reads. Well, Blackfin is quite a strange town. It's full of very odd characters to begin with, but there are quirky little things like a wishing well that will take the money out of your pockets if you walk too close to it. There's a burned out circus in the woods, there's a ruined church, there's a haunted weather vane that you get to meet as well in the book. So all of these strange little things are going on in the background of the story. I suppose I got the inspiration for that from a few local things around where I live. I come from North Wales, and I've got a ruined castle that's just down the road from where I live. The circus comes to town every year. That was one of my main inspirations, I think, behind writing that particular part of the story. All kinds of quirky and really ancient ruins around this area, so I got to draw a lot of inspiration from where I come from. I think Sean had to be one of my favourite characters to write. Within this town of very weird characters, he's probably one of the most normal. He's only moved to the town a couple of years ago when the story begins, and he's Sky's friend and her love interest as well, and he's really somebody that she can turn to and really lean on when things get super crazy within the story. Sean is very comfortable in his own skin. He's probably the kind of guy that I would have been friends with when I was in school. Somebody who's, he's not the coolest person, he's, not special in any particular way, but he's just very steady. He's very happy with himself, and he's has that quiet confidence as a person that's really, I think, quite an appealing characteristic. Wow, that's quite a hard one to choose, really. I think the first time I ever held a physical copy of my book in my hand, that was probably the most unbelievable moment since having that initial conversation with my agent and finding out that yes, somebody was going to publish my book. Actually holding it in my hands and feeling that this is the final product now, and people are going to read this and have their own opinions about it and think lots of different things about my story and my words. That was just fantastic. I'll start off with this one, which is Unwind by Neil Shusterman. And this says on the back, unwinding is the process by which a child is both terminated and yet kept alive. What that means is any child up to the age of 18 can be broken down into parts and reused. So essentially their parts are donated to somebody else. And because 100% of the original person is kept alive, even if it's in separate bodies, that's called unwinding, and that is a legal practice in this dystopian book. It's really quite dark and creepy, as I'm sure you can gather from that description, but it's fantastically written, and you follow the stories of these three teens who are facing being unwound themselves, and it's just a brilliant book. The next one that I think I'm going to choose is Dead to You by Lisa McMann. I'm a huge fan of all of Lisa McMann's books. This one's about a boy called Ethan who's abducted when he was 7 years old, and then he's returned to his family at the age of 16, so during those 9 years he's been missing, and he's now returned to them, and he's obviously a completely different person because he's been away from them for most of his life. And it's such a strange and really emotional story about how he kind of becomes a part of his family again, and what exactly happened to him, and while he was away with the people that abducted him. So yeah, it's really quite heartrending, and you see it's not a very thick book. Lisa McMann writes these really short, sharp, punchy books, and yeah, this one's fantastic. My third and final pick is The Ghost Bride by Yangtze Chu. It's a historical fantasy about a girl called Li Lan who in, I think it's, 1890s Malaysia, is betrothed to somebody who's already died, so becomes a ghost bride. And it follows her journey as she goes into this afterlife, which is a really spooky place where people in the land of the living can make offerings. So they'll draw something on a piece of paper and burn that, and then whatever they've drawn on that piece of paper, so they draw a fantastic mansion, the person that they're burning it for will have that in the afterlife. So I love these strange, quirky details like that that are part of, this really old traditional belief. So yeah, it was a fantastic read, and it's one that is so lyrical and gorgeously written that it's just really stuck in my head, and I think it's probably going to stay there forever, to be honest. Okay, 3 random facts about me. Number 1, I once danced on stage with the band Shiwaddy Waddy. I think I was probably about 5 at the time. They were all wearing these sequin suits, and it was fantastic. Number 2, I can actually move my ears, and I know you can't make these grand sweeping statements like that without demonstrating, so here you go. Impressive, no? And number 3, the first ever single that I bought was Star Trekking by The Firm, and I had that on vinyl, which shows how long ago it was, and I knew all the words, and I thought that was ace. So thanks so much for having me on Jessabella Reads. If you do pick up Blackfin Sky, I really hope you enjoy it, and thanks a lot. Bye for now.